Infantry Regiment, Lieutenant Colonel Jeffrey D. Green, from Lawrenceville, Georgia. On his left is Command Sergeant Major Michael P. Darbison, from Oakland, California, the Senior Non-Commissioned Officer, Master Trainer, and Principal Advisor to the Commander. The Commander of Troops will now bring forward the colors and persons to be honored.
Colors! Persons to be honored! Center! Forward!
Competence and commitment are the hallmarks of professionalism. The soldiers and drill sergeants coming forward will be recognized for their excellence in training and duty performance and serve as examples to all. Ladies and gentlemen, it is appropriate for soldiers not in uniform and all armed forces veterans to salute the American flag. We ask all others to please remove your headgear and place your right hand over your heart as our national anthem is played. And Command Sergeant Major Darbison will now present the awards. The outstanding drill sergeant of the cycle for Alpha Company is Drill Sergeant Darrell Smith from Greensboro, North Carolina. The honor graduate of the cycle for Alpha Company is PV2 Zachary Gibbs from Orlando, Florida. The student leader of the cycle for Alpha Company is PV2 Elijah Stark Hawes from St. Cloud, Minnesota. Company's highest score on the end of cycle physical fitness test, scoring 326 points. The highest score in rifle marksmanship for Alpha Company, hitting 40 out of a possible 40 targets, is Private Diamante Lawson from Warner Robins, Georgia. The outstanding drill sergeant of the cycle for Bravo Company is Drill Sergeant Juan Laboy from Bayamon, Puerto Rico. The honor graduate for Bravo Company is Specialist Ryan Kim from San Jose, California. The student leader of the cycle for Bravo Company is Private Zachary Beckett from Gig Harbor, Washington. The highest score on the end of cycle physical fitness test for Bravo Company, scoring 335 points, is PFC Douglas Cooper from Chicago, Illinois. The highest score in rifle marksmanship for Bravo Company, hitting 40 out of a possible 40 targets, is Specialist Jeremy Hayes from Raleigh, North Carolina. The outstanding drill sergeant of the cycle for Charlie Company is Drill Sergeant Nathaniel Vanscoy from Indiana, Pennsylvania. The honor graduate for Charlie Company is PV2 Alexander Penny from Thornton, Colorado. The student leader of the cycle for Charlie Company is PV2 Zachary Gaskill from Bremerton, Washington. The highest score on the end of cycle physical fitness test for Charlie Company, scoring 315 points, is PFC Sarah Noweri from Fishersville, Virginia. The highest score in rifle marksmanship for Charlie Company, hitting 40 out of a possible 40 targets, is Private Warren Garon from Virginia Beach, Virginia. The outstanding drill sergeant of the cycle for Delta Company is Drill Sergeant Nathaniel Oddie from Crandall, Indiana. The honor graduate for Delta Company is Private Gulliver Arias from Queens, New York. The student leader of the cycle for Delta Company is PV2 Edgara Sanchez from Perth Amboy, New Jersey. The highest score on the end of cycle physical fitness test for Delta Company, scoring 331 points, is Private Mitchell Tiberzi from Beacon, New York. The highest score in rifle marksmanship for Delta Company, hitting 40 out of a possible 40 targets, is PV2 Brian Fan from Marietta, California. The outstanding drill sergeant of the cycle for Echo Company is Drill Sergeant Jordan Lee from Seattle, Washington. The honor graduate for Echo Company is PFC Andrea Romberger from San Rafael, California. The student leader of the cycle for Echo Company is PV2 Eddie Vasquez from Vieira, Florida. The highest score on the end of cycle physical fitness test for Echo Company, scoring 363 points, is Specialist Zachary Hedwall from San Diego, California. The highest score in rifle marksmanship for Echo Company, hitting 40 out of a possible 40 targets, is Private Luke Armentrout from Salisbury, Missouri. The outstanding drill sergeant of the cycle for Foxtrot Company is Drill Sergeant Jonathan Manley from Washington, D.C. The honor graduate for Foxtrot Company is Private Vikshai Tech from Houston, Texas. The student leader of the cycle for Foxtrot Company is Specialist Jonathan Higgins from Summerville, South Carolina. The highest score on the end of cycle physical fitness test for Foxtrot Company, scoring 336 points, is PV2 Shaughnessy Saunders from Chickasaw, Oklahoma. The highest score in rifle marksmanship for Foxtrot Company, hitting 40 out of a possible 40 targets, is Private Benjamin Mark from Daytona Beach, Florida. Ladies and gentlemen, the commander of the 1st Battalion, 34th Infantry Regiment, Lieutenant Colonel Jeffrey D. Green.
Major General Cloutier, Colonel Shade, Colonel Sheehan, Colonel Ellerson, Command Sergeant Major Hain, Command Sergeant Major and Mrs. Barnes, Command Sergeant Major Celestine, Command Sergeant Major Retired Petrosky, Sergeant Major Maury, former soldiers, distinguished guests, family and friends of the Army's newest soldiers, thank you for attending the 1st Battalion, 34th Infantry Regiment's graduation ceremony today. For those of you for whom this is their first visit to an Army post, welcome. For those that attended the Family Day yesterday, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed your time yesterday with your soldier and saw all the changes, both visible and not so visible, in your loved one. I would like to thank you for taking the time to travel here today and joining us in honoring and celebrating the accomplishments of your soldier, America's defenders of freedom, who stand before you today. The soldiers on the field join for many different reasons. It may be for adventure, a sense of duty, wanting to be a part of something bigger than themselves, or simply because they needed some purpose and direction in life. For many of the soldiers graduating today, they joined because it is a family tradition. They wanted to pick up the mantle of military service they inherited from their parent, their grandparent, an aunt or an uncle, or an older sibling. Regardless, they are now part of the 1% of the population that protects the other 99%. And right now, I would like to welcome and recognize all the 1%ers. Except for today's newest soldiers, I would like for anyone who has ever worn the uniform of the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, or Coast Guard to please stand up. Thank you. Soldiers, you are not just wearing that uniform for yourself. You are wearing it for each one of these Americans and all who have gone before us who serve our country in uniform. Never forget that and wear it proudly. Usually for a graduation speech, I will speak to you about my observations of the cycle. But today, I'm going to do something just a little bit different. I am going to speak to you, but I'm going to use the words of some of the soldiers standing on the field behind me. I conduct an end-of-cycle survey where the soldiers provide feedback on ways that we can improve basic combat training. And here are a few of the survey comments. I did edit them a little bit, but I left their meaning intact. The first survey comment. The question is, what was the most exciting part of basic combat training? And this soldier answered, doing some really cool stuff. I got to rappel down a tower, negotiate a bunch of obstacles, shoot a rifle during the day and night, go in a gas chamber, crawl the length of a football field while they fired machine guns over my head, throw live hand grenades, live in the woods, and get lots of exercise. But the best part is, I got paid to do it. Here's another question. What was the most challenging part of basic combat training? And this soldier responded, living together with 50 other girls in a bay and trying to get along with them. Trying to take a shower when there are 5 times as many people as there are shower stalls, and there are some stinky girls after PT in the morning. Trying to get everybody to do the same thing at the same time. But about week 5, we started to click. We learned the Army values of loyalty, duty, respect, selfless service, honor, integrity, and personal courage. And as we started to get along and live them, it got easier. I made some new friends that I now call my sisters. And then one final survey comment. The question is, what was your favorite part of basic combat training? And this soldier responded, singing the cadences. I loved marching in step with my platoon and singing the songs. And my favorite cadence is the one that says, everywhere I go, there's a drill sergeant there. And that song is not lying. When I wake up at 05 in the morning, there's a drill sergeant yelling at me to wake up. And when I go to bed at 2100, there's a drill sergeant there putting me to bed. When I go to the chow hall, the drill sergeant is yelling at me to eat faster. And when I'm doing physical training, the drill sergeant is yelling at me to get up and get down. But at least they're doing it with me. I wonder when they have time to do anything for themselves. To the soldier on the field who wrote that comment, they don't have much time. The cadre and drill sergeants of the Leyte Dragon are focused on one thing: your future success and victory on the battlefield. And I can assure you that they take this responsibility seriously. Since you have been here, our Army has continued to send soldiers to Afghanistan, Iraq, the Horn of Africa, and other places. This nation is still at war, and your drill sergeants have given you the tools to win and survive in combat. For some of these drill sergeants, this is their last cycle. From Alpha Company, we say farewell to Drill Sergeants Jones and Grottenheis. From Charlie Company, we say farewell to Drill Sergeants Dahl and Stevenson. From Echo Company, we say farewell to Drill Sergeants Milani and Anderson. And from Foxtrot Company, we say farewell to Drill Sergeants Pipes, Mia Fuentes, and Manley. And Drill Sergeant Pipe has been acting as a first sergeant for the past year. Families, please join me in a round of applause as we recognize the tremendous efforts Families, I'm going to cut it off here. Over 10 weeks ago, you sent your loved one to the U.S. Army. For that, I thank you. I thank you for trusting us with your sons and daughters. For most of you, that young man or young woman is the most precious thing you have. And now, as one of those soldiers who stand on the frontiers of freedom and defend that freedom for America, he or she is now one of America's most precious son or daughter. Soldiers on the field, you have each accomplished a great achievement by completing basic combat training. You all should be proud. But like I told you at the rites of passage ceremony, you are not merely completing basic combat training, you are beginning your new life. Take advantage of the opportunities ahead of you. You have become a valued member of the most elite segment of society in America, the U.S. military. I bid you all good luck and Godspeed. Always forward, strike strong. Victory starts here.
Soldier is, above all, a warrior, adaptive, confident, and competent. As a soldier, you are totally committed to the warrior ethos, grounded in Army values, and determined to destroy enemies of the United States of America and her allies. The United States Army Soldiers Creed embodies this commitment. The uniform you wear at this moment is more than an outward display of your vocational choice. Your uniform is a symbol of a nation and an unspoken assurance to all who see you that you are a willing and able protector of the freedoms fought so arduously for by all who have gone before and those who will bravely come after. You have become what you set out to be, a soldier in the United States Army, The Soldiers' Creed is your declaration of your unshakable commitment to the ideals this nation was founded upon and will continue to guarantee. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand as Specialist Headball leads the soldiers standing before you through the reciting of the Soldiers' Creed. Please be seated. Family members of the awardees may meet their soldier at the tents located to the left of the bleachers. All other family members and friends may meet their soldier to the far right of the bleachers at the end of the parade field. We ask that you please remain seated and in the bleachers until all soldiers have passed the reviewing stand and the playing of the Army song is complete. Ladies and gentlemen, you are reminded that as you are approached by the American flag, it is appropriate to rise and remain standing until it has passed to your right. Alpha Company is commanded by Captain Bradley Young from Barbara, New York. Second platoon is led by Drill Sergeant Ace Peterson from Salt Lake, Utah. Third platoon is led by Drill Sergeant Gabriel Lozano from Los Angeles, California. Fourth platoon is led by Drill Sergeant James Williams from Los Angeles, California. In the rear of the formation is the first Sergeant Virgil Livingston from Florida, South Carolina. Bravo Company is commanded by Captain Stephen Gordon from West Chester, Ohio. First platoon is led by Drill Sergeant Lieutenant Solani from First Sergeant Len Taylor from Oakland, California.
Yeah. Second row, last one. Remember? Second row over there. Look at this one.
Company is commanded by Captain J.B. Branson from Kansas City, Kansas. First platoon is led by Drill Sergeant Gary Welch from Henderson, New Jersey. Second platoon is led by Drill Sergeant Robert Sholden from Cincinnati, Ohio. Third platoon is led by Drill Sergeant Valerie Sturgeon from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Fourth platoon is led by Drill Sergeant Michael Spears from Marietta, Florida. In the rear of the formation is the First Sergeant. First Sergeant Terrence Simmons from Georgetown, South Carolina. Echo Company is commanded by Captain William Mayhan from Manhattan, Kansas. First platoon is led by Drill Sergeant Jack Lee from Beaumont, Texas. Second platoon is led by Drill Sergeant Heather Southern from Kansas City, Missouri. Third platoon is led by Drill Sergeant Shelby Mitchell from Statesville, North Carolina. Fourth platoon is led by Drill Sergeant Nicole Malani from Long Island, New York. In the rear of the formation is the First Sergeant, Sergeant First Class Ariel Kendrick from Benton, Arizona. Foxtrot Company is commanded by Captain Michael Sullivan from Vicksburg, Mississippi. First platoon is led by Drill Sergeant Robert Howard from Lassville, North Carolina. Second platoon is led by Drill Sergeant Kathy Stevenson from Rancho Cordova, California. Third platoon is led by Drill Sergeant Stephen Abraham from Shipshewana, Indiana. 4th platoon is led by Drill Sergeant Clarissa Mirafuentes from Chicago, Illinois. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the Army song and please remain in the bleachers until the conclusion of the ceremony is announced. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's ceremony. Family members of awardees, please meet your soldier under the canopy to the left of the bleachers. All other family members, please meet your soldier to the far right of the bleachers at the end of the